Welcome to the Government News Brief for Monday, April 4, 2016. In the news, development of new tongues to be fast-tracked now that local government elections are over, Guyana supports Barbados at CELAC meeting, and niche market to be used to advance tourism development. The details of these and other stories when the news brief continues. Stay tuned. Thank you for staying with us. I am Azim Khan and this is the Government News Brief. Guyana strikes a chord for regional integration at the recently concluded CELAC Ministers of Foreign Affairs meeting. Here's that story.
This move by the Guyana contingent at the April 1 meeting in the Dominican Republic was effected to foster greater cooperation and support within the CELAC grouping.
Barbadians have put together a declaration on correspondent banking, an area that has been of great concern to them. And this is an item on the agenda where we will, in which we'll be working and providing some support to Barbados.
Mustering harmony poses a challenge in these groupings, hence Guyana's position is seen as significant, as oftentimes CELAC members would discuss an area of particular interest to a member state. However, the rules of procedure do not allow for a reservation to be recorded and the advancement of the group's work in that area.
We've had difficulties over Honduras, there were difficulties in Ecuador, over the question of the Paris 21 agreement, where one country was refusing to even allow the Paris 21 outcome to be mentioned, when all the other countries thought that this had been a major advance, it's useful, and so forth. So it was decided that we should revisit this with a view to putting in place rules that allowed orderly decision making.
The rules of procedure, along with decisions being made on critical areas for regional integration, were addressed at the regional meeting. CELAC is a regional bloc of 33 Latin American and the Caribbean states, which aim at uniting all of the Latin American and Caribbean states to strengthen the political, social, and cultural integration of the region, improve its quality of life, and stimulate economic growth. Government News Brief, Glendon, Greenidge.
Development of the new hinterland tongues is to be fast-forwarded following the swearing-in of the newly elected councillors. More in this report.
The March 18 local government election paved the way for the newly elected officials to lead the charge in the orderly development of the newly gazetted tongues of Lefem, Mabruma, and Bartica.
As far as the coalition candidates, as well as successful ones in particular, are concerned, those results represents an opportunity for those persons to serve the residents of their constituency. Which it will be recalled is how Our Excellency described the results of the 2015 general and regional elections, namely that they represent an opportunity for the administration to serve the people of Guyana. It also, as far as the successful coalition candidates are concerned, it offers them an opportunity to participate and to lead in the process of the renewal of our communities and the reversal of the decay that has beset our communities.
These local areas are expected to be weaned off central government's dependency and control. The local councillors will now participate in decision-making in their municipalities and contribute towards the creation of economically powerful towns, neighborhoods, and communities. Leading this charge in Bartica will be newly elected Mayor 35-year-old Gifford Marshall, who will be assisted by Nageshwari Kamal Pasad, Deputy Mayor. In Lefem, Region 9, it will be Mayor Carlton Beckles and his 19-year-old Deputy Mayor Maxine Ann Welch. Meanwhile, efforts to elect Mabaruma's first mayor and deputy mayor have thus far ended in a stalemate. The APNU and AFC's and PPC's seats are evenly split on the Tongue Council. These three new tongues join the existing six: the country's capital Georgetown, New Amsterdam, Riverton and Rose Hall in Region 6, Anna Regina in Region 2, and Glendon in Region 10. Renetta, Fleur, Government News Brief.
The Ministry of Public Health is advising that citizens, primarily pregnant women, continue to take precautionary measures against the Zika virus. Persons are asked to clear their environment of unnecessary materials such as tires, punch hole in discarded containers, and properly cover containers with stored and drinking water. The arrival of more cruise ships is being promoted to advance Guyana's tourism sector. More in this report.
The international cruise ship Noble Caledonia is currently docked at Port Georgetown. Following a tour of the vessel, Director General of the Ministry of Tourism Donald Sinclair spoke of the impact Guyana hopes to create through cruise ships' arrival.
What it means is that cruise visits are becoming more routinized. We're not at the stage where, for example, in the other Caribbean countries, there are 3 cruise ships per day. We're not there yet, but our hope is to expand the space for cruise visits as part of our tourism product.
Smaller vessels are expected and passengers will be provided with a customized experience during their stay in Guyana. Meanwhile, Director of Guyana Tourism Authority Indranath Harold Singh says that there has been an increase in the number of cruise ships to the local shores.
Most of the passengers on the ship, they come ashore. With a cleaned up city and so many dramatic improvements, I think the messages that will be going out is that, hey, this is a great, fascinating, very friendly, warm, hospitable place to visit.
The Noble Caledonia is docked at the GNSC wharf with 88 passengers. While some chose to visit Georgetown, others went to the Kaieteur Falls. Another cruise ship, the Minerva, had visited Guyana last December. Government News, Glendon, Greenidge.
Young entrepreneurs are grasping the opportunity promoted by government to generate small businesses. Here is a look at one of these entrepreneurs.
Romaine Ben is a young Barbadian who has taken up the government's challenge to create a small business to develop her livelihood and her community. She recently launched her creation, Hollywood Ben Creative Arts, at the West Berbice Expo and Trade Fair.
We basically do upcycling, where we take all of your trash and we turn them into something new and beautiful of a greater cost. For example, the stuff behind me. These here are made from old tissue holders. You would take them out and you throw them away. But I take them and I make something beautiful that you can use to decorate your house.
The young entrepreneur also focuses on the development of children who are slow learners, as the materials are used for making teaching aids.
There are a lot of children out there who don't always understand what their teacher is saying. Sometimes the concept is difficult for them to grab. So what we do, we take that concept that's difficult for them and we make it into a beautiful learning material where we use cartoon characters and bright colors to capture their attention.
The West Berbice Exposition and Trade Fair was held in Region 5 for the first time on March 26 and 27, 2016. Ms. Ben, like many other young and budding business persons, are calling for this to become an annual event. Government has committed to facilitating the process of business development in Guyana through its Ministry of Business. Several new initiatives were developed and implemented to create a level playing field for small and micro enterprises. For this Government News Brief, Shivani Rampersad reporting.
The Government of Guyana continues to receive written comments on the draft Code of Conduct for Ministers of Government, members of the National Assembly, and public office holders. The government has thus far received written feedback from some key civil society organizations on the draft Code of Conduct. The call for comments is government's effort to ensure a thorough and comprehensive code which benefits from the widest possible input. Government will allow further comments before the code is presented to Cabinet for approval and finalization. The government encourages all citizens and stakeholders' participation in the process leading up to the final version of the code, which is intended to promote professional, exemplary, and responsible conduct by senior government personnel. It is further meant to engender and reinforce public confidence in the manner in which senior government officials perform their duty in service to the people. The Code of Conduct can be accessed from the website of the Ministry of the Presidency at www.motp.gov.gy. This has been another edition of the Government News Brief. You can find the details of these and other stories on GINA's website. We encourage you to subscribe to our website and YouTube channel. You can also like us on Facebook so you can be informed as the news unfolds. Join us again tomorrow for another edition of the Government News Brief. Thank you for watching.